Alex, after a terrific year last year, how does it feel to be making your main draw debut at Melbourne?
It feels great. I'm super excited. Coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I've had in the past coming here. So super excited and coming in full force. Yeah.
Great. Questions?
So obviously your 2025 year was pretty spectacular, as you talked about the main draw at AO. Just kind of have you embraced building yourself as a player and becoming probably more fame, just being more well known over the past year.
So how do I embrace that? I try to just take it with a spoonful of gratitude. I think not a lot of people get to experience this in their lifetime, so I'm just so grateful to be in this position and to have that support. I think if anything, it's just try to take it in with the positives, and it sure does help, when I'm out on court and people are supporting. So yeah.
Talking about you just came off of Auckland, a pretty solid run there. Just after an off season, how good was it to go pretty far in Auckland, and how are you feeling, with those matches done, heading into this tournament?
Well, it's definitely it was great for confidence, and to get matches in always helps before slams. So yeah, I'm confident with how I'm playing. Doesn't mean that the matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for anything. Yeah.
I know, obviously, you'll hopefully be here into the second week, but the week after, there'll be the first tour stop in Manila, first tournament in your home country. Just talk about, what it means to have the WTA Tour go to Manila. It's a 125, but, obviously, I hope, you hope that you're going to be here the second week, but just talk about, that tournament.
No, I'm so happy that it's finally coming together. It's really happening. It's been a dream to have a home tournament, and just in the WTA stage in general, I think it's a huge step for tennis in the Philippines and women's tennis especially. I know some friends who are going to play there, so I'm so happy with, that's going to bring a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation for the girls back home, and it's just a big step in the right direction.
You win the golden medal in the same game in Thailand, and then you went to Macau, and then Auckland you had a dramatic match with Wang Xingyu. So it's kind of very busy last month for you. Do you feel tired? Because players always have like a vacation in the off season, but it looks like you have a busy schedule. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, it's been a busy month, but so many blessings and so many there have been so many memorable moments that just make me happy to experience, and I think I've planned well and my team has done well to arrive here in the best shape possible. It's a Grand Slam, so we're not looking over that fact, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm here.
Just a bit of a random question from me. I've been asking a few players about jet lag.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, obviously, where you come from in the world, and I know obviously you spent a lot of time in Europe as well, but as a younger player, how have you kind of dealt with the effects of jet lag as you travel across the world? Because tennis players kind of travel more globally than most other athletes.
I think it doesn't matter where you come from. If you're on the tour, you're going to have jet lag, or even, if you're playing tennis in general, you're going to have jet lag. And the reality is that you just have to deal with it. Like if you're running on 3-4 hours of sleep, like you're gonna play 3-4 hours. I mean, and you can adjust, right? But it's kind of like you can't really do anything about it. You'll get sleep when you can. Yeah.
Have you had any particularly bad experiences of jet lag?
It's always difficult when, if you, in the circumstances, you're not able to arrive with time, kind of like with a couple of days to get used to it. Let's say, like, if you go to the US and you had a tournament in this area of the world and you went far, there's always, sometimes there have been experiences like that. But at the end, it comes with the job, and it's not something you can really control. So yeah, the reality is that you just have to suck it up sometimes. Yeah.
I suppose it gets easier the more you climb up the rankings, because you're not going as much from, I don't know, tournament in this place and a tournament in that place, when you're coming up on the lower tours.
Yes, that's one angle, but it's very circumstantial, I would think. Doesn't matter whether you're number one in the world or 200. encounter these sorts of challenges. Yeah.
So just one final one for me. Any tips or techniques that you use to get over jet lag?
I try. It's very important for me the first day to just stay up as long as you can until it's time to go, or when you're on the plane, just try to look at adjust your clock already to where you're going. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
What were your thoughts about the 1-point slam?
I thought it was so fun. Everyone said great things about it. And maybe, next year or whenever I will be able to play, hopefully. Yeah.
Serve or receive?
I'd probably receive, because the pros get only one serve, right? Yeah, I'd probably receive.
What can you say about the Filipino fans here in Australia? I know you competed in the Cain Classic this week. How was the welcome? Was it different from the past years that you've been here?
Yes, it was amazing. It's been amazing. In this part of the world, there are a lot of Filipinos, I know. So, but the turnout this year has grown significantly, I would say, from the past years. So I'm so happy to see this environment, and people are excited, and when I'm on court, they're excited to see me. So it's flattering, and it makes me feel welcome for sure.
Also, this week I talked to Lizette Cabrera.
Yeah.
She's one of the qualifiers, but unfortunately, she didn't push through. But she said she's happy that you're putting tennis on the Philippine map. What can you say about it? Because back home, when you say the basic sport in the Philippines would be just basketball or volleyball, but now tennis is growing. So what are your thoughts about it?
I mean, well, yeah, that's the reality. Is when back home, tennis is not one of the biggest sports in the running, I would say, but hopefully that's changing. And with the WTA 125, I think that's a great goal for people to look forward to, for the Filipinos to look forward to. It always makes me happy when I come home and my cousins will tell me like, oh, it's so hard to get a court now, like, so those are good signs. And I think people just in the Philippines, we just have to make the first step, and I think we're making some good steps. Yeah.
Players, like especially on the women's side, always did well here in Australian Open. Like Lina, she won here, and also Zheng Qin won finalist. And you are with Lina's team in Macau.
Yeah.
So did you guys get a chance to talk about maybe Australian Open, or did she give you some kind of advice?
Yeah, I think Lina is super funny. She told me the advice she gave when I played was to win the last point. But I was able to ask her about some of her experiences on tour, and it's just I'm so thankful to have had those moments, because not everybody gets to talk up close with their idols. And yeah, I hope that I can embody some of what she was able to do, and some of her success. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.